Hi, I'm Finlay. For my capstone project this year, I decided to learn how to make dyes from natural ingredients, mainly plants that I can find in my yard and around the neighborhood, as well as some ingredients from the grocery store. The main goal of this project was to find a better alternative to store-bought synthetic dyes, also referred to as chemical dyes. As well as costing money because they can't be made at home, chemical dyes can be quite toxic, resulting in some serious environmental issues. If chemical dyes are toxic, why do we use them? Good question. The answer is that because they're much harsher than natural dyes, they produce much brighter colors that also last longer. Chemical dyes can also produce a wider range of colors than natural dyes can, and they're much more efficient. Much less material is needed to make the same amount of dye. With all those things to compete against, it would seem like natural dyes are hopelessly defeated, but they're not. Although they can't make as many colors, they can still make a lot of colors that still look nice. They're also completely free, and it's easy to find guides on how to make them because people have been making them for thousands of years. Even when you aren't following guides, natural dyes are still very easy to make. After cleaning the fabric, the first step is to gather the material you're using for the dye. This can be anything from things that are everywhere, like grass, or exotic ingredients like indigo or saffron. Almost any plant can be used to make dye, it's just a range of how well they're going to work. After that, there's a, theoretically, optional step called mordanting. Mordanting helps the color stick to the fabric better, and is done by adding chemicals such as ammonia, tannic acid, or iron onto the fabric. Traditionally, this was done using less pure, but natural occurring things like certain rocks or minerals. I skipped the step, which is probably why many of the dyes I made turned out very pale. The next step is to soak the dye material in warm to hot water that's about 60 to 80 degrees Celsius until the color comes out and mixes into the water, which usually takes about an hour. After that, all you have to do is soak the fabric in the dye until it picks up the color, and you're done. Overall, I think the project went well, and I learned a lot about making dyes, as well as how they work. To add to this project, I am planning to try to test the toxicity of the dyes by watering plants with them. I'm also planning to continue experimenting with making dye from different plants to expand my, I guess you could call it a dictionary of colors. And that's about it. Thanks for listening.